before we go on to Weber, then, can you summarize what's happened since then? Because now there's a proliferation of what seems to be sociological themes, the racism, politics around gender, and so on and so forth, poverty, and so on. These are all kind of grist to the middle of sociology. So, is sociology still in a bit of a crisis, or has it found its way again?
Well, I'm not really the person to answer this because I haven't kept up with modern, particularly European sociology. I think in the same way as anthropology to a certain extent, as a practical way of approaching problems like functionalism, as I mentioned with Ernest, as a methodology, that is, let's look at societies and let's assume, as Durkheim did, for example, that there are statistical regularities, that people tend to commit suicide in April. And that seems to be a statistical, if not a formal rule. And that's an interesting thing to look at, that there are patterns in society. There are patterns in crime, there's patterns in racism there. So we are looking for the patterns and we're looking for understanding of big social problems like racism or gender or whatever. That is a good starting point. So sociology directs you towards useful things to study and try and understand big problems that we have in drugs or knife crime or whatever it is. I'm talking about the deeper existential answers, theoretical answers, because as an applied discipline to those problems, it's probably very helpful and interesting, and you can learn a lot from the studies that are going on. But for a worldview, which is really what Marx and Weber and Durkheim, which will replace what we have lost, it doesn't provide that, nor does anthropology, although it does a little more.